hard to wait for all the things that I want. Sometimes I kinda feel like it's just taking too long to get the things I want, what I think I need, but I know you know what's best for me. I'm gonna live what I believe. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. I know that sometimes I just need to slow down and trust that you are working all of this out. You know the things I want, what I think I need, but I know you know what's best for me. I'm gonna live what I believe. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. Still working on me.
Bon appetit, everyone! My name is Graham. I'm dressed like this because I want to know what it feels like to be a real chef. I want to be able to bake a cake that's as tall as me. I want to make chocolate chip cookies that are so gooey the chocolate stretches a full 6 feet. I want to understand what fondant is. Fondant? Fondant? I want to be able to say the word fondant. But like most things in life, becoming a real chef takes time. It takes patience. Patience is waiting until later for what you want now. And I know a thing or two about patience. I signed up for a baking class 6 weeks ago that wasn't supposed to start until today. So I have to wait. And today I found out that the class has been postponed for another 2 weeks because our teacher is sick. It looks like she's going to be okay, but still, I have to wait some more. So now I'm wondering, what if I never get to go to class? What if it gets postponed again and again and again? What if it stays this way forever? The longer I have to wait, the harder it gets. If only there was some way to make the waiting not feel so hard. Maybe there is a way. In today's story, we'll learn about a guy named Simeon who had to wait a long time for God to keep his promise. But Simeon didn't have to wait alone. So, I guess I'll see you soon. I'll just wait here. Oh man, I could really go for one of those gooey chocolate chip cookies right about now. Chocolate.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story inspired by the book of Luke, chapter 2, verses 25.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Sunday service. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. We are a brand new month. Welcome to the month of March, where we are talking about a bake-off, and is it or it's worth the wait. And our word for this month is patience, which means patience is waiting until later for what you want now. And that is a super big thing. How many of you guys have helped mom or dad bake a cake or cookies or cupcakes? Okay, so a couple of us. Awesome. Now, when we bake, we have to wait patiently for our pastries and our yummy delicious things to finish baking. So this month we are going to be talking about patience and how we need to wait. Sometimes we need to wait until later for things that we want now. And today I have got an awesome story for you guys, and it comes from the New Testament. But before we get to the New Testament, we have to back it all the way up into the Old Testament. So we have to go backwards to go forwards. I know that sounds silly, but we're going to go backwards to go forwards. And our backwards look is in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 9, verse 2. And it says, "The people who are now living in darkness will see a great light. They are now living in a very dark land, but a light will shine on them." That comes from Isaiah chapter 9, verse 2. And this whole verse is talking, if you guys remember correctly, from Christmas time. Isaiah was a big prophet, and Isaiah actually prophesied about Jesus and his birth. So, at the time of Isaiah, things were very crazy, things were very chaotic, things were very dark, like this verse actually says. So, it was a time where it seemed like darkness was all over, and they were looking for hope. They were looking for light. But they had to be patient. Very good. And by the time now that we've rewound ourselves, we've looked at Isaiah, we fast forward back into the New Testament, and it is just after Jesus is born, and we find a man by the name of Simeon. And Simeon is somebody who really worshiped the Lord, and he spent quite a bit of time in the temple just praying and seeking the Lord. And so he would read these words of Isaiah, and he would read what they said, and he kept waiting patiently for this great light. He kept waiting for this hope, and he kept looking for it. And it's not specifically said how old Simeon was, but we know that he was very old, and that he has been looking at this verse and waiting for the light for a very long time. Talk about patience. That man had it. Sometimes I am terrible when it comes to patience. I want things right now. But I have to remember how to be patient. I have to remember that, you know what, sometimes it's better to wait for things that I want for later rather than get them now. Like baking a cake. If I eat things now, it's not very yummy. It's not very good. But if I wait until later, then I get a nice fluffy cake, and I can put frosting on it, I can put sprinkles, and I can add all kinds of fun, yummy treats to go with my cake or cupcake. But if I do it way too soon, then I don't get that. So Simeon had to wait. So while he kept trusting in the Lord, he kept following him, he was like, I know that there's going to be a light. I know that there's going to be a great light that shines in the darkness. And a promise was made to Simeon by the Lord, and he said, you are going to see this great light. You're going to see it before you pass away. And again, we don't know exactly how old Simeon was, but we do know that he was very old. And one day, he was just minding his own business when he felt the whisper of the Holy Spirit. And he felt the whisper of the Holy Spirit say, hey, today's the day you need to go to the temple. And so Simeon got up and he went over to the temple, and he was just hanging out at the temple, being in God's presence, reading the word. Well, who should walk in but a young couple with a brand new baby, and they came in to the temple, as was customs, to make a sacrifice to the Lord for their new child, as well as a big word here, consecrate him to the Lord, or as we will sometimes do today, maybe baptize him. But basically what they were doing was they were saying, hey, we want our son to follow in the footsteps of God, as well as we promise as his parents to help him follow after God his whole life. And if you have not guessed it by now, our young couple is none other than Mary and Joseph. And yes, indeed, that little baby is Jesus. Yes, 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 indeed, my friends. So while Simeon was there, when they came in, and of course they were doing stuff in the temple, he automatically knew that this was the Messiah. He knew exactly who Jesus was. And so Simeon came up to Mary and Joseph and said, this is the Messiah that I have been waiting for. I was promised many years ago that I would get to see this hope and this light before I left this earth. And Simeon was so, so excited. And he may not have known Mary and Joseph outside of that. So some of you might be going, well, how did Simeon know who they were? Well, we again go back to the Holy Spirit. Just as the Holy Spirit told him earlier on in the morning, hey, today's the day, go to the temple. He also, I'm sure, felt the Holy Spirit whisper, that's it. That is your Messiah. And of course, when Simeon met Jesus, he was so excited. After many, many years of being patient and waiting so long, the day had come and he rejoiced knowing that, you know what, God fulfilled his promise and that there was going to be hope and there was going to be light. And that light that was going to take out the darkness that he would read in Isaiah chapter 9 is here today. Wow, what an amazing thing. And what's so cool is we know that from this, that we can trust God no matter what. No matter what's happening, we know that we can trust God. And it was the same thing with Simeon. Even though things were crazy, even though things were absolutely chaotic, he still knew that he could trust God no matter what. And we see that God still fulfilled his promise. He loved Simeon, and Simeon was able to see Jesus, which is amazing. So all month long, we are going to keep talking about different stories about patience and how we want to wait until later for things that we want now. And that is all the time we have today, but we can remember that we can trust God no matter what. I love you guys. Practice being patient this week. Maybe try it out. Maybe wait for, I don't know, maybe if you have candy, maybe wait until later. Or, if you want to play with a toy and your brother or sister has it, maybe practice some patience and wait until they're done. So keep practicing patience this week. I love you all. I'll see you all again next week. I think it's time to see what our friends are up to.
We don't know for sure how long Simeon had to wait before he got to see Jesus, but it's possible he had to wait for years. We usually don't have to wait years for something to happen, but sometimes when we're waiting, it can feel like years. Sometimes it can feel like forever. Like when you're waiting for your birthday or Christmas, or when you're waiting to feel better while you're sick. I know it's hard to wait, but here's the good news. You don't have to wait alone. God is with you. He knows what you're going through. He knows what the whole world is going through, and He knows how it will all turn out. So talk to God. Put your trust in Him. He's going to be with you through everything. In fact, God will be with you forever. So, that's the one thing to remember today. When you have to wait, remember God is with you. I still have to wait for my first baking class. Maybe it'll happen in 2 weeks, maybe longer. But no matter what, I won't be waiting alone. God will be with me. I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll have some gooey chocolate chip cookies for us to try by then. I wonder if the goo will stretch from me to you. I can't wait to find out. See you then.